Hi, I'm Kishore.
Hi, I'm Deepa. Do you hesitate to talk to your family about the importance of sexual education in a kid's life? Or are you confused about whether or not it's appropriate to teach sex ed to your kids?
Do you strongly believe that sex ed is unnecessary, or are you a person like me who believed in myths rather than learning the facts on sex ed? Then this video is for you. What Deepa and I have tried to do in this video is debunk the myths and simplify the conversation on sex ed.
The discussion in this topic can be used as a conversation starter, and we hope that parents take that leap forward and just have the conversation. We guarantee the conversation won't be awkward after all. It is actually very rewarding to know that sex ed can create a nourishing environment for your children. The topics we discussed in this video are actual discussions that Kishore and I have had during our days as wannabe parents. So here it goes. Remember, what's important is that you start the conversation. Kishore, I'm thinking that we should give sexuality education to our kids.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Why suddenly this thought?
Remember how we complained about not knowing much about sex and relationship when we grew up, and how upset we were with our parents for not helping us or teaching us topics like puberty, say hygienic care of penis? Aren't you mad that they let us hang and dry?
Yes, for the most part, I regret my parents not guiding me. I never really got any kind of knowledge from my parents regarding how to treat a girl or be in a relationship. I had to learn the hard way in my 30s on how to be in a relationship.
Yeah, I know. I was there as a victim of my not knowing. Anyway, do you want our kids to resent us too? And regret having parents who denied them the right to factual information?
Certainly not. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I am under the impression that sex ed is for teens or, older kids.
It is misguided information. Sex ed is built upon the principle of age appropriateness. At every stage of a child's development, from birth, there is something we can teach our kids about sexuality.
Wait, from birth? How is that even possible?
Don't you think when infants are touched and cuddled, they feel that they are being loved?
Sure.
So when a baby receives gentle touches and soothing sounds, they are learning about emotional and physical closeness and safety. See, even choices of parents' clothing and the kind of household work they engage in, baby catches messages about male, female roles and expectations.
Oh, wait, okay, hold on. When did gender differences and gender roles become sexuality education?
This is the most common piece of misinformation parents have about sexuality education. Most parents think sex ed is only about sex and maybe menstruation. What they do not know is that sex ed covers a vast range of subjects from how to be in a relationship to respect, consent, puberty, pregnancy, menopause, sex positivity, positive body image, peer pressure, gender sensitivity. And mind you, these are just a few topics covered under sex ed. And I forgot to add safe and unsafe touches, cyber abuse, drug abuse, about getting exploited or exploiting others, or getting bullied or being a bully themselves.
Wow. Basically, what you're saying is that sex ed helps a child develop responsible attitudes and behavior and teaches them to respect themselves and others within the home or outside environment.
Bingo. Yes, sex ed nurtures physical, sexual, emotional, reproductive, and moral development of a child.
Well, it sounds complex with so many topics. Wouldn't exposure to so much information take away a child's innocence?
That's again a big myth. Do you really think children are not overexposed with what they see on TV or movies or songs? These days, children grow up surrounded by dangerous and corrupted information. Such information only makes the child feel more conflicted, vulnerable, or confused. Oh, and don't get me started about movies. All they showcases that love and romance means stalking a fair-skinned girl, and recently the trend being kids as young as 5 or 6 falling in love. Really, love? When in all likelihood the child must be figuring out why girls and boys have different body parts.
That is so true.
And you must understand that sex ed is not teaching children about everything at one go. Sexual education is a lifelong process. We will take baby steps, giving them information gradually. Consider sex ed as a properly structured, planned everyday small talk, which has age and developmentally appropriate, scientifically accurate, gender neutral information.
But I do not think that kids will want to discuss sexual behavior with us parents. And if even if they did, they can always come to us and we can answer those questions. Why go through this whole process of education?
Honestly, tell me, do you ask your mom or dad for relationship advice? Did you go to them when we broke up, or do they even know we were dating?
No.
When you were in teens, have you not once felt like asking your dad or mom about why your voice changed at some point, or whether it was good or bad to masturbate, or why your sister bleeds every month?
Sure, I had lots of questions.
Then did you ask them?
Nope, I did not.
Why not?
Because I always knew that they would have a negative reaction to those questions. You see, their generation considered such questions as, taboo.
Correct. Do you see where I'm going with all these questions?
Yes, it's getting clear now. Just like how I wanted to reach out to my parents, but I never did, and just like how they ignored my curiosity, what if my child wants to talk to me and I fail to recognize the asking? Much worse, what if my child thinks I will judge him or her to be bad for displaying a natural biological response of a body?
Exactly. You see, at every stage of their growth, kids are curious. Till the age of 3 or so, parents are happy feeding to their curiosity. But as they grow older, parents become selective about listening. They become fixated on answering questions pertaining to money, religion, school education, and forget to address the confusions, apprehension, and reservation a child develops due to hormonal changes.
And I believe most parents with teenage kids think talking about sex ed will provoke their kids to engage in sexual acts, or that the kid is already sexually active.
That is again the biggest myth of all. Yes, unfortunately, most parents think that way. Because of such wrong assumptions and judgments, parents are actually hurting their kids. Parents fail to understand teenagers undergo a lot of changes. During this time, teenage bodies, emotions, and identities change in different ways at different times. They're already confused and scared of these changes, and so to them, the question about sexuality is just a question like a science or a math question, and nothing beyond that. In fact, research clearly indicates that sexuality education rarely, if ever, exposes kids to early sex.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, I hear you now. I do, but I still am not 100% sure. Is it not too much too soon?
Don't you think the danger lies in too little too late? We will be giving them information appropriate for their age or development, and I bet you will be surprised at how much they already know. And the kind of news we hear nowadays about kids abusing other kids. I mean, parents are up against dark internet, abuse, drugs, suicide. Can you tell me how else can you protect our kids if not for sex ed? There never is too much too soon, Kishore, not for our children. The message I want to give our kids is that mom and dad are askable. I want them to approach us without any fear, shyness, or embarrassment. Most importantly, I do not want our kids to go on a curiosity hunt on the internet, exploring dangerous territory which not only has way too much information, but also exaggerated information, not at all relatable to reality.
Okay, so when can we start?
Soon? Now? It is never too late to start. In fact, we can tailor sex ed curriculum to include our values and beliefs, even religious beliefs. Our repeated strong emphasis on our values and beliefs, along with age appropriate sexuality lessons, will most likely make our children hold on to our beliefs tightly and maybe practice them more rigidly.
I guess it shouldn't be too early to start teaching about what is important. I'd rather have my children learn about respect and consent than some nursery rhymes, half of which are sexist as it is. Anyway, I'm confident now that my children should have the right to sex ed. But what do I say to them? What if I'm wrong? Where do I start?
What do you say? Well, sex ed is a process. We learn with our children and we will probably never stop learning. There are many credible online resources available. It will give us a fair idea on what to expect, but honestly, I don't think we'll ever be prepared for these kind of questions. We will most likely be caught off guard, and I say it is okay if that happens. We can talk to them about what we know, and for the topics beyond our understanding, we can buy time or stall the question until we find the right answer. And even if we are wrong about something, we can always go back to them with the right information and say, hey kiddo, you know what? Amma was wrong about this. We did some research and here's the right information that you should remember.
I love that. I love the fact that we can tell our children that, hey, look, parents make mistakes too. Parents are humans too. Many parents, including mine and yours, pretend to be the perfect beings, putting undue pressure on their child by expecting them to be always right and correct. I want my kids to know that it is okay to be imperfect, just like us, and that we work hard as a family together and as good humans to correct our shortcomings.
Hearing you say that is giving me the goosebumps. And hey, you really don't have to worry about where to start. Everyday life gives us lots of natural opportunities that can be utilized to teach children about sexual education. These unplanned opportunities are called teachable moments. Such moments in life can happen at any time or even at the most unexpected or worst time possible. But as parents, we have the power to convert such moments to convey positive messages and make our children feel more confident and comfortable coming back to us to ask more questions.
It has been 9 years since we had this discussion. During this time, we've had so many teachable moments. Sometimes it is a miss, but for the most part, we've used those moments to talk to our children about various topics on sex ed. Deepa, our two kids Rudra and Rida, and sometimes I, will be making videos of those teachable moments in the coming days for Parent Tune, a series by Aware India. Keep watching this space for more videos. While you are at it, please subscribe to Aware India YouTube channel. Don't forget to like or share the video. Until next time, remember, there is no better place than home for our children to learn sex ed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.